celebrate or be so proud of progress by imaginary increments. Perfect time for you to burn the bridge to self-forgiveness. Now's the chance, take a stand, stay your hand before you cast another vote for corporate interest. Another vote that chokes your hopes of owning your own home or opening a business. They love to say their hands were tied, the stars just weren't aligned for them to get their votes in line to see their promises delivered. But they killed it in an instant. Bills don't die by accident, they're all assassinated on behalf of the congressionally kismet. By some lobbyists who see themselves as agents of clandestine fate, not fences in a prison. Dealing in the stolen goods of sleeping slaves and trading on the futures of their children. Betting on a spread of daily dead where every grave's creating profit by the millions. For some fascists lurking in the wings and all of their affiliates. And every Etna demigod our senators conduct their darkest dealings with. It really gets impossible to document or fingerprint, cause it isn't just a pattern of corruption, it's the very fabric making up the structure of the system that we're living in. So dash your hopes and down a margarita goes. You box the shadows, take a little nap, and then you get back in and swing again. But if the margarita made you sick, you probably wouldn't take a drink again. So if you're voting either party, honey, think again. I recommend you steel your nerves and never serve an officer, a president, a despot, or a king again. And mark my words, the day will come where we will rise and sing again. And if voting makes you sick, well, no one's forcing you to drink again.
I didn't have to wait for long, I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm, smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even fade the song, can't fake while you play the charms. And I don't know the page we're on, but this is where you say you're wrong.
This is where you finally admit you weren't ignorant. You boldly voted Joe like an informed and blissful idiot. You chose to blur the parts of Biden you don't find the prettiest. Now you choose uplifting news and filter out the grittiest. But the truth is something coarse enough that even when it's hidden, it's apparent when you feel it on your fingertips. I know it's hard to deal with from a distance, and up close the truth is hideous. But there's just no getting rid of it. You've gotta let it in, or it just worries at your skin at every moment, loud or intimate. But shake it off, for fuck's sakes. You don't have to celebrate or be so proud of progress by imaginary increments. You don't have to heap such constant praise on fucking villains, like they're stillborn promises or honestly just isolated incidents, and not the product of the principle of privilege. Not intentional eugenics just by any other synonym, covered up with desperate clusterfucks of rosy images, labeled plain by any other name except for what the fucking image is. So once you stare the page down enough, you'll spot the difference. That one is red and one is blue, and that's the only truth, because neither one delivers on that promise of deliverance. One is red and one is blue, and that's the only difference. And the rest are isolated and imaginary incidents. One is red, one is blue, and that's the only difference.
I didn't have to wait for long, I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm, smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even fade the song, can't fake while you play the charms.
false alarm. I thought that help was here. But it was my own reassurance bouncing round 100,000 times in my own ecosphere. If every time you speak you keep it off the record, consequently you can keep your record clear. And if you mute the speech that shakes your frail beliefs, you only seek to insulate your image and continue down the stream in the direction clout and credit steers. Directly from your mouth into am I the asshole Reddit's ears. Directly back into the greasy pockets of some Gates Foundation financiers. And then directly back into the frantic final thoughts of early trial Neuralink volunteers, staring at the numb and mumbling vacancies where recently had been their peers. Half of whom are glitching with the memory stuck on pause, and half have zero fucking clue just who they are or why they're here. It's been said that fear is all we have to fear. But that was back before the Basosphere condenser came along, distilling concentrated fear that's diamond pure, crystal clear, oppressor strong, and woven into every single article you read and song they let you hear. And then Elon heard that Jeff enhanced our fears by 86%, and he said, hold my beer. And not a single sheep among the herd would turn their head or say a word, cause they were all too busy begging for the shears, begging for the muzzle, happy just to guzzle, feed, and watch a screen for all their years. Man, to each his own, can't afford a home, but they'll let you have your cozy little ecosphere. Where there among your own devices you can break the seventh seal, overthrow the oracles and slay the seer. All the tomes were burned and all the lips were seared. Shut your eyes and all our lives just disappear. Now blink 'em twice. Welcome to your ecosphere.
And when you dream, you're by yourself. Don't know the streets where you'll find yourself. Go back to sleep, don't mind yourself. Both hands on your head. Go back to sleep, don't mind yourself. Both hands on your head. Both hands on your head.
Money's talking while hunger prays. Bunch of Nazi-loving child fuckers run the state. 911 is on some 1-800 CIA, and plastic pundits pump your trust and fund your shallow graves. It is malice just for malice sakes. Congress houses wealthy corpses, breathing hexes, arming forces. Been spilling out 1 million greedy snakes from all their orifices. Coursing down the Congress floor, across the aisle, out the door to curse 1 million more before they've run their bloody courses. Clip your wings like Klippenstein, then out and burn your sources. God collapse at times is hard to witness, other times it's gorgeous. There's something satisfying in the act of watching something greedy choke upon the very thing on which it gorges. And there is something humbling blooming in the thought that once the dust is settled, mine could be the hand that clears the moss and lights the torches. That mine could be the voice that wakes the very fucking orchids. Mine could be the words that stir the armies in the orchards. Then all the lowliest of roots, I'd be the one to call them forward. Let the very earth be witness first to see the
They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute
or so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. It's 'cause you are. They'll gladly stagnate a living wage, snap the chains, bury it. Labor slaves in rusty cages dragged behind a chariot, led by Mr. Racial Jungle, Joseph R. Iscariot, fighting over scraps as they barrage us all with variants and BuzzFeed clickbait, straight until we're paralyzed, trying to distract us from the concentration camps that Joe had swore he'd close but only chose to amplify, where they got 50-something kids in cages made for 5 to occupy. And no, she hasn't seen the camps, but Harris swears they're paradise. She tells us the facilities are safe, and that right down to the women, they are regularly sterilized. Then she throws her head back and she proceeds to laugh, that sort of heartless cackle you'd expect from someone working steadfastly on behalf of the virus and a Congress full of parasites. And where was I? I was busy cashing every blue check, demonstrating plainly all the narratives expected from the verified. I was busy breeding verbal leeches by the terabyte. Train them to exsanguinate the wealthy while they sleep at night. Bleed the oil barons dry and barren, say they showed us how to share and now we share alike. Tell them I contracted rabies from a feral mic. Now I'm just another species losing sleep to noise pollution and these glaring lights, forced to change its habits and adapt to just survive. But now it's safe to say that some of us are thriving in the moment, throwing shit on presidential homes beneath the Paris skies. So if you feel like you're just powerless, I guess you bought the lie. But I can tell they're petrified of our collective might, 'cause I can hear those gentrifiers weeping at the sight of our collective rights. And I only can imagine the intensifying fear of knowing revolution's near, and all that's left to do is simply wallow in the thick anticipation of a rabid bite. And baby, one day you can ask your leaders just what that was like before you grab a slice. So if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. Honey, if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. See, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, and tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't, because we aren't. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and make you build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, where they'll tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't, because we aren't.
IndependentLeft.news.
Independent Left News.
Indie Left News.
Independent Left News.
Oh yeah, and I get news from Independent Left.
Thank you, Independent Left.news.
They actually put up posts of different shows, different things going on.
Check out Indie Left. They're doing a lot of good things. They're on Twitter and Instagram, and they've helped promote our show a lot.
Thanks for the work you do behind the scenes, too. This man does our Discord and some other help, so I just love to shout him out. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah. They kind of really do a great job of pushing.
Thank you, Independent Left, for reminding me of that.
Check out IndependentLeft.news.
IndieLeft.news.
Indie Left, shout out.
Well, thank you very much, Ron Falcone. Shout out to everybody that's out there. And it is Happy Sunday night. And how do we miss that? It is Bird. It is Reef. Really excited and happy to be here, and appreciate everybody who is here already, and give everybody a couple more minutes to get in. But looks like we had about a dozen people already. We got people on the Rockfins. We are on 8 platforms. Yeah, that's right. 8 platforms. Everybody, 8 freaking platforms. We are on the Rockfin. We are on the YouTubes. We're on Rumble. Live, streaming on Rumble. That's really cool. We are on Odyssey, always. Twitter, Twitch, Telegram, and, of course, the evil Facebook. Wow. But we're there, too, just in case anybody wants to share it. And please share the stream out anywhere. Reef just took himself a nice big hit. And you can see all the smoke hanging out around Reef. What's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
That's everything. All right, so I got a little spiel here. How Do We Miss That is a show airing, like I said, on all these networks, Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, reviewing a few big stories that we haven't seen covered much in our independent media channels this week. Co-hosted by Indy, and that's me, founder and editor of Independent Left News and Leftist.today. And this guy sitting over here next to me, Reef Breland, and he's the creator of the Jimmy Dore Discord, and he's the host of Reefer After Dark and INN News. We are both founding members of IndieNews.Network, which is a collaborative family of 23 independent new content creators. And all of the stories that we're going to show tonight were featured in independentleft.news this week. Like I said before, please make sure to like, share, subscribe to the stream. We are also on podcasts, so you can go and look us up on all your favorite podcast platforms. And you can actually say, hey, Alexa, download the Leftist.today podcast, or How Did We Miss That? There are like 4 other How Did We Miss That? We do have our ticker down at the bottom, thanking all of our patrons and all of our donors, and we really appreciate them. Did want to shout out the volunteers, though. Big Mad Crab for making the thumbnail for tonight. Kick-ass, our art director. He does so much to help everybody. Appreciate him. Phantomos Fanto for editing and clipping all the time. Fred Edward for sharing out the stream. Same thing with the resident skeptic, Chris Gilman, sharing out links. And, of course, Paco and Team Tara and everybody that's on Team Tara making that happen as well for INN. And shout out to Jesse Jet for the awesome music. And everybody go download The Grift from jessejet.bandcamp.com. All 3 songs that you heard tonight were actually featured on the Grift. We went through it on Jesse's show, American Tradition, a week ago Tuesday. This Tuesday night, we're going to be doing the Grift Home Companion, which is a spoken word piece that he wrote in conjunction with the Grift. So everybody please, and right, Big Bad Crab's going to be performing tomorrow night, everybody in the New York City area, which I am, but I'm not going to be able to make it there, unfortunately, but that's awesome for Crab. I want to jump into stories. Let's get into, hold on, let me go into slideshow mode, and now we will go into Indie Main. Boom. Nice. All right. Colin, what's up, dude? INN Brothers. All right. So we've got, this is our thumbnail that Big Mad Crab made. We've got a couple stories tonight. We got BRICS. This is all kind of backwards, actually. Colonial Pipeline. It's almost like reading it in Hebrew. So it starts in Colonial Pipeline. Then we're going to talk about some teachers in Corbyn. And we're going to finish on NATO and BRICS. So, you know this guy. He was here last week. He's Robbie Yeager. And he put out a whole thing about Colonial Pipeline this week on his Politify newsletter. So by all means, Yeager, JAEGER.substack.com. Go sign up and subscribe to Yeager.substack.com. Hook our boy Robbie up with some stuff. Subscribe there for free. And what's that?
You need to share your screen.
That's the way again. I thought I did. Sorry. There we go. I think that's the right screen, but I don't know. Hold on. Virtual webcam. Sorry, everybody. Just give me a second. Monitor 3. No, that's right. Good. So, North Carolina Colonial Pipeline spill now estimated at
full cam.
What?
I see your full cam.
Oh, full bird? Gotcha.
Yep.
Turn off the bird. 2 million gallons. Okay. 2 million gallons, which is now the largest spill in U.S. history. No big deal. Just the largest spill in U.S. history. Nobody's talking about it. Biggest,
nope.
Hey, we're number 1. We're number 1. Okay, so what's going on here? Colonial Pipeline, owned by the Koch brothers and Shell Oil, I believe. 2 million. That's how many gallons of gasoline Colonial Pipeline now estimates spilled from a crack in their pipeline running beneath the Oler Nature Preserve outside Huntersville in August of 2020. Now, there's an updated estimate. If you link in the article, there's a link to that, given as part of their statement. Okay, makes the Huntersville spill the largest inland pipeline spill in U.S. history. Previous record was 1.68 million gallons in Minnesota in 1991. I think Robbie talked about that here last week.
Yeah. Speaking of which, cheers to Robbie Yeager.
Ah, Yeager bombs! Cheers, Robbie. So, this latest estimate marks the fourth such time that Colonial has been asked to revise what they believe to be the total volume of the spill, which started at 64,000 gallons in August 2020. Then it was increased to roughly 250,000 gallons a month later. And after state officials noticed discrepancies between the amount being reported as recovered far exceeded Colonial's expected number, they once again asked for another estimate, which Colonial provided to the tune of 1.2 million gallons. It's again 5x every time. Months went by while Colonial slowly pulled their released product from the ground. And again, state officials knew that estimates would be surpassed, but this time Colonial declined to provide another estimate until they and the DEQ settled the matter earlier this month, resulting in a $4.75 million fine for Colonial, as well as providing new testing and information to the agency, which they had declined to provide for over a year. God only knows what's going to come out there. Quote,
Yep.
Right, Colonial says, each estimate we provided to date has been based on the best available data we had at the time. Okay, this is what they said in their submitted estimate report. Company would go on to blame the geographical layout of the site for their model's inability to provide new estimates until a recent change in models gave Colonial what they say is a more responsible approach to determining the potential volume. Another interesting admission in Colonial's report comes in the way of their estimation of how long the leak actually went undetected. This is also really interesting, and Robbie didn't even mention this when he was here last week. As previously reported, Colonial themselves did not discover their leak. We knew this, that two teenagers riding ATVs through the area smelled gas, notified the authorities, who in turn alerted Colonial. Now it seems that Colonial believes the pipeline could have been leaking for as many as 18 days, now from July 27th until August 14th when it was discovered. While it had long been speculated that the leak had happened for a protracted period of time, Colonial's estimate is the first time anyone has placed a possible time frame on the leak. Wow. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Craig. At present, over 1.48 million gallons of gasoline have been pumped from the soil in the Oler Nature Preserve, along with nearly 10 million of petroleum contact water or groundwater pulled from the nearby area that did or could have come in contact with the spilled gasoline. Okay. While back in March 2021, I call them PHMSA, PHMSA, which is the federal agency that oversees pipeline security and safety, published a report condemning the entire 5,600-mile pipeline system as a hazard to humans and the environment alike, with the potential for catastrophic leaks such as the one in Huntersville, present throughout. And that the spill, possibly several others, were exacerbated by Colonial's inefficient leak detection methods. What a surprise. Despite that, PHMSA, a division of the U.S. DOT, settled with the Cocoa and Pipeline Company out of court on a promise to fix the problems, with no fine, only the threat of a possibility of one. And after long and drawn-out investigation by state officials at the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, in which the agency took Colonial to court, agency also settled with $1 billion+ per year pipeline company for a measly $4.75 million. It's a speeding ticket. I mean, it's a jaywalking fine for them. It's all about the cleanup now, which could take years to complete. It's also possible that this is not still going to be the final estimate that Colonial will provide. On that, only time will tell. And stay tuned to our brother Robbie Yeager and Politify for future updates on this story. So I wanted to call attention to it. I know he was here last week, but since he published it, and I love published putting up articles. I want to definitely showcase that because we can't talk about that enough. 2 million gallons, largest spill in U.S. history. I mean, what is there to say? They've had to. Go ahead.
Well, it's just all these pipelines. It's the same story. Like, you know what I mean? Between the ones from Canada and this one, and it's just, I mean, it's gratuitously how close it is to indigenous lands already, you know, like it's craziness all around. But the fact that they just get like you know, barely a percentage of like what, like they get no real consequence.
No.
Like, they get to throw a penny at the problem and it goes away.
Like less than $5 million is like what disincentive is that for them to continue doing exactly what they're doing?
Yeah.
Now the other thing that I didn't get a chance to talk to Robbie about was that they were buying up the land also in the area because it was so contaminated that nobody could live there anymore. So one of the things that's happening is Colonial Pipeline has actually been buying that area. And I spoke to somebody completely outside of politics and outside of our space, and he said that at one point his family actually used to own like that whole area, and it's just like a disgrace to see that Coke and what's the other one, Duke Energy and Colonial Pipeline have just completely ravaged and destroyed that area. They do leak all the time. I mean that's
all
one
the
of the
time.
things that pipelines leak. That's just how it works. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Pipelines leak. So again,
manufacturing their own tar sands at E. Heller.
That's right. Shout out to everybody over on the Rock Fan that's watching. We got a half dozen people over there. Got a couple people watching over on the Rumbles. Good stuff. I do have a couple more stories, like I said. So let's get back into that real quick. Okay. This is one of my favorite people on this planet. Is a gentleman overseas by the name of Gordon Dimmack. And if you haven't heard of him, you should definitely check him out. Give him a follow at Gordon Dimmack, just like that on the Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere. He's on Rockfin as well. This article, and he actually recorded a TikTok video about it. It's about 6.5 minutes. I encourage everybody to go watch it. And it was talking about how Jeremy Corbyn was right all along. And well, what specifically? Speaking specifically about that it was a scam and that accusations about him being a raging racist who hated the Jews were exaggerated by the media and factions within the Labour Party for political gain. Right? So you need proof. Right. Well, here goes. So he's gonna seek to make the case here. All right. On Monday, a charity called the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism publicly criticized Sir Keir Starmer on Twitter for using the Berlin Holocaust Memorial as some kind of prop in his latest campaign video as leader of the UK Labour Party. And that's this tweet right here. And in response to it, the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism released a statement. It says it is a matter of decency and long-established convention in Germany that you never stoop to using the Berlin Holocaust Memorial as some kind of a prop, but to incorporate the memorial as the backdrop for a political clip that does not even mention the Holocaust is an insult. That's among other things. So he's no friend to he's trying to propagandize what's going on here and trying to use this as a prop, and they're supposedly not, they're not supposed to do this. This is not the first time that the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism have criticized the Labour Party leader. Okay, they relentlessly complain about Jeremy Corbyn during his tenure and even have an entire page on their website dedicated to criticizing him. Interesting. Their complaints during Corbyn's time as leader were so numerous it was reported to the Charity Commission for heading a number of anti-Labour campaigns. During all these attacks on Labour and Corbyn by the CIA, however, he received little support from his own members of parliament, despite the negative press Corbyn received as a result of the CAA complaints. What's really interesting here is Jewish Labour member of Parliament and Dame of British Empire, Margaret Hodge, never said a word in support for Corbyn during this turbulent period, despite her being an honorary patron of the CAA. Instead, she added fuel to the fire, calling him an anti-Semitic racist after Labour Party's ruling body, the NEC, refused to adopt certain IHRA's definitions of anti-Semitism, which were criticisms of Israel or labeling Israel as a racist endeavor, a decision Corbyn supported but was open to fresh consultation on. That sounds reasonable. She then refused to apologize for it. In response to this latest complaint by the CAA about Keir Starmer, however, Dame Hodge was quick to jump on her now party leader's defense. And what did she say? He visited the Holocaust Memorial on a trip to Berlin, totally appropriate. I'm fed up of CAA using anti-Semitism as a front to attack labor. Time to call them out for what and who they are. More concerned with undermining labor than rooting out anti-Semitism. Oh, now you're worried about it. And that's what he says. Why does she speak out in defense of her leader now? Why does she not do the same when Corbyn was her leader? Ruth Smith from Strictly Protect and another Labour MP who was also quiet during the CAA's campaign against Corbyn all of a sudden had something to say about Keir Starmer being criticized by the CAA too. So it's pretty interesting that people are now running to Keir Starmer's defense. I'm sure that somebody made a phone call and asked for that to happen. All right, this attack's not only wrong, it's unfair and blah, blah, blah. Incredible. Dame Hodge and Ruth Smith didn't say a word when CAA was criticizing Corbyn, but now they suddenly jump to Keir Starmer's defense. What's going on here? Let me remind you that he was suspended from the Labour Party because he said that the scale of the anti-Semitism problem was also dramatically overstated for political reasons by our opponents. In the wake of the Inequality and Human Rights Commission report into AS in the Labour Party, anti-Semitism in the Labour Party when Corbyn was leader. Which, again, dramatically overstated. If anything, what you're seeing here... Okay. Isn't this proving it right? Well, yes. Yes, it is. Right? Especially now, Gordon's hilarious. He and Misty loves him, and shout out to Misty. You know, we're so sorry, Misty, and I don't know, our thoughts are with you too this week too. But especially now that we know what is the so-called Ford report, okay, the details of which have been leaked in the media in the last few days. Now, he admits that he hasn't read the Ford report. However, the buzz is that the report basically proves what many have been saying all along, that complaints of anti-Semitism were weaponized by factions within the Labour Party against Jeremy Corbyn.
Right.
What a surprise. So here's Damian Willie, who says the Ford report has dropped, and although damning in places, has desperately tried to row back or both side stuff, smacking of a watering down attempt. As much as the media are spending it as exoneration for the labor right too, it really isn't. And this is an entire video that you can watch from Damian Willie. This was a few days ago on Twitter. So he says he has to repeat that this is what Corbyn was expelled from the Labour Party for saying, that the scale of the anti-Semitism problem was also dramatically overstated for political reasons by our opponents. Exactly the same thing Dame Hodge and Ruth Smith are now doing. So they're right, of course. The CAA is a pro-Israel, politically biased group, and highlighting their complaints was a witch hunt by our media, but that also means that Labour MPs not only let that happen and said nothing, but leaned into the rhetoric with attacks of their own. Because they wanted to get rid of Corbyn and install this stooge. So to say that this is... They're right to say that it's a politically motivated attack by the CAA, but that also means Corbyn was right too. Yeah. So logic dictates that one of two things now need to happen. Either Jeremy Corbyn is given back the Labour Party whip by Starmer, or Dame Hodge and Ruth Smith should be suspended by him for doing the same thing.
Same thing.
Right?
Yep.
Either way, it's 100% proof that it was a scam and that accusations Jeremy Corbyn was a raging racist who hated the Jews were exaggerated by the media and factions within the Labour Party, and for political gain, Corbyn was right. And again, who hated the Jews? I've never seen him ever make a statement to that effect. What I've seen him do is defend the rights of Palestinian people. Okay, and look for equality and denounce the Israeli government. That does not denounce Jews. Okay, see, this is again conflating Israel with Judaism is a very dangerous thing to do, and that's what the Labour Party was trying very heavily to do, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to include this. On top of the fact that if you can go support my friend Gordon, The BBC are silent on all this, by the way, so not a peep about it anywhere, of course, on their news shows. I wonder why. But before you go, there has never been a more important time for truthful journalism, and never a worse time to get paid for it. So please support independent journalism however you can, and you can support his work with a link at the bottom of this article and on his website. I've donated to Gordon in the past. I'm a fan of his work, and he is an ardent, stringent, original G Assange supporter who's been there from the beginning and puts his heart, his soul.
Wait. You went OG, but you went original G, but not original gangster.
No, because he's not really a gangster, but OG is still
okay.
Kind of.
Yes, you just spread out the original part,
Yeah,
but not the G part.
Sure. Yes. Anyway, so that's our friend Gordon.
Right.
Again, hook up Gordon, GordonDimmack.com, at Gordon Dimmack on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. He's big on TikTok. Good dude, real good dude, good heart. And calling it out, and big fan of people who call it out. So we don't normally cover British politics, and I get that, and I don't really know half the players involved. I do take his word for it and his perspective. I could be completely wrong, and he could be a complete schmuck on this one, but I don't think so. It seems like he's got his stuff down. I do know that they were certainly coming at Corbyn hard with the anti-Semitism stuff, that they torpedoed his leadership of the party, that he could have potentially been prime minister, but they basically torpedoed the law. They torpedoed his campaign so that he would lose to Boris Johnson. Oh, right. That clown.
Right.
Was it Boris Johnson or was it the other guy, Farage? I don't even remember which clown it was. It was one of the two douchebags. But, yeah, KFC original recipe. Gee, that's right. That's right, bacon. I smell bacon in the house. They're getting Starmer now. Yes. Hypocrites all. That's right, Garrett Brown. So let me put that up on screen. Yeah. Jeremy Keir Starmer is no Jeremy Corbyn. You can say that again 100%.
Oh, Jeremy Corbyn.
Okay.
At the UFC fights this weekend. Do you know Paddy the Baddy? Have you met Paddy the Baddy yet?
I have not met Paddy the Baddy.
You should quick Google search Paddy the Baddy just so you have that image in your head.
Okay.
But here I can do that.
Mick Lynch and Claire Daly, by the way, Garrett Brown are both amazing. They're also fantastic politicians overseas. We need a lot more of them. And Mick Lynch has been doing it since he's like 17, 18 years old. These guys, true OG. Nice news stick. Nice. Thank you, Craig.
I'm looking for a good one.
Nice. There you go, bro.
This is Paddy the Baddy. Right here.
I see him.
He's got this weird bowl cut. Right? He's super scouse. So it's like Paddy the Body. It's fucking crazy British. Anyway. But his girlfriend, also a UFC fighter, right? Who I think is called
RLA in the house. What's up, Nikki?
This lady, the meatball.
INN's
Molly
director.
Meatball McCann.
Molly Meatball McCann
started a whole chant for fuck the Tories.
Well,
at the fights this weekend after she won.
Sure. Why not?
So, yep.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep.
Okay. I got two more. I got two more here. All right. So, next, we're going to talk some labor and a strike that was actually successful. So, how educators in Brookline, Massachusetts won an illegal strike. Right? So, striking has been illegal for public employees since 1919. But educators won nearly all their demands after they walked out on May 16th. Out of a membership of nearly 1,100, more than 900 signed in on the picket lines May 16th. Strike culminated with 1,000 educators descending on Town Hall for a rally with allies from around the state. Yeah. So this is actually from Maggie Keniff. She was actually one of the members who did execute the strike and one of the members of the union. So wanted to spotlight this. This was in Labor Notes back about a week ago, 10 days ago. Bargaining team negotiated into the early hours of the next morning. When the sun rose, they had won 2 back-to-back 3-year contracts with guaranteed prep periods for all educators, a fair pay raise, including important changes to longevity structures and language aimed at attracting and retaining a more diverse workforce. In short, They won all their demands with minimal compromise. Perhaps more important, they ended a cycle of disrespect and showed that they are willing to take collective action. Yes! I think that elected officials will think twice about messing with the teachers now that they saw what we could do by sticking together, said school librarian Dominique Gagnier. The school committee made themselves look bad to the voters, and public opinion shifted in our favor. So, lifting the curtain to understand how the Brookline Educators Union built the capacity to break the law and strike, you have to look back a few years. Since 2016, we've been through 2 superintendents and 3 interim superintendents, the result of rash attempts to impose an untenable, data-driven model of schooling on our educators and students. What's going on here? Despite all the turnover, the school committee, like a school board, was steadily growing more combative during the negotiations. To expose this behavior, we pushed to open bargaining to members and the public. In 2019, we won a step in that direction, the right to have 12 silent representatives at the bargaining table. Throughout the bargaining process from 2019 to 2022, more than 100 rank-and-file members served as silent representatives, bearing witness to management's blatant bad faith bargaining. Quote, I witnessed the demeanor, tactics, and commentary of the school committee's lawyer, said social studies teacher Susan Bellow. That's when I knew I had to join the contract action team. I mean, this is the haves versus the have-nots in management versus labor all day long. Yeah, this person says here, being a silent rep gave me tremendous appreciation of how difficult it was to be on the negotiations team, and I no longer questioned them. If, in their judgment, we needed a work action, whatever that might be, I would support them. So by sitting in on these committees, it's actually convincing the workers that the people representing them are actually representing them, and they'll go strike if they say we need to strike. This is good. Then they're ramping up here. So in the spring of 2021, school committee proposed a 0% raise for the 2021 school year. They came back in September 21 with slightly more money, but proposed to weaken their grievance rights and added a demand for a 30-minute longer workday without additional pay. Why? Why are they getting more for nothing? Why are they having to give just to be able to keep your jobs? This doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, we were proposing fair cost of living adjustments, stronger measures to attract and retain educators of color, a planning period for every educator every day, and a joint committee to expose inequities and excesses in job expectations. I don't think there's anything unreasonable about any of that. The school committee ignored these proposals and offered no counters, then forced us into the interstate mediation by claiming impasse. We already had been doing work to rule action, a canvassing campaign, visibility rallies, and leafleting. Do you see? Okay, is everybody writing this down? Is everybody writing? Take notes. Work to rule action, a canvassing campaign, visibility rallies, and leafleting. When mediation started, we realized it was time to ramp up. We shifted the role of our contract action team to coordinating a broader action team of 200 highly engaged members. What did they do? We mapped out an action escalation, including a public rally, attending a meeting of the select board like a city council to demand funding, and packing the school committee meeting to give testimony showing our outrage. Through these actions, members began to feel that this wasn't just another contract fight. We were out to break a cycle of fear and disrespect. Boom. Then, here's the other key, personal outreach. Leading up to the strike vote, we had just a week to reach 1,100 members. We used a central spreadsheet to track how ready each person was to vote yes. Math teacher Julie James said, with each communication, I understood that the personal contact from me was different than getting an email. They identified building leads to get in touch with strike headquarters and picket captains who would stay in touch with 10 members apiece, and we created cross-building partnerships. It all paid off, renewing her faith that when we fight, we can win. But do you see the coordination? Do you see the amount of people? Do you see the amount of structure that there is there?
Yep.
Organization. This is organized, you know, not like the AOC version of organize, but the Freedom Fighters DC, right? Isn't that the organization that Afeni's part of? Fred Hampton organized.
I think, yeah.
This is great. Okay. I wanted to spotlight this because there aren't very many unions and very many strikes that are actually leading to big wins against management. And though that big win was nothing unreasonable at all, the fact that there was a win, so Maggie's a kindergarten teacher and she's the co-chair of the contract action team.
Okay.
So, big fan. Shout out to Maggie. Shout out to Labor Notes for covering this. And support teachers, support educators. Highly underpaid in every way, shape, and form. Overworked. And as a parent with kids in the public school system, man, we got to take care of these people. We really do. I mean, they have been abused and underpaid and forced vaccinations mostly everywhere around the country, from my understanding, wherever there was a mandate for a vax in order for teachers to go back to work. They've endured masks. They've endured getting sick. They've endured their colleagues dying.
Mm-hmm. Colin said, Brookline is a high-income suburb next to Boston. That is not surprising that the demands would be met.
Yeah. There's money there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Colin would have plenty to say about that on INN News.
Yep.
But 1,100 educators winning a strike action against their bosses is always a good thing, and it's maybe an indicator, and maybe it's throwing a bone, like Colin's saying, and maybe it's just like, hey, we'll give them this one in a nice area, and the wealthy kids will get a little bit better stuff, and they'll get better teachers, but the system continues to roll on and not much changes. And I think that's really probably the point that Colin was trying to make, and he's not wrong there at all. Love you, Colin. Care Bear. So, got one more story tonight, and then I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to figure that out.
I got some boats.
We got some boats.
Yeah.
All right. So, BRICS. Oh, boy. This is something that we definitely need to continue to... Yeah. Okay, don't make it... All right. We had a problem with some DMCAs last week. Let's try to have that happen again this week.
Yes, I sound exactly like the P-Funk All-Stars.
No, it's Rick James.
Who did that song?
That would be Rick James.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So, Ramsey Baroud in Minpress News published an opinion piece, and it's really interesting because Minpress rarely puts the disclaimer. I noticed that the opinion of the person here does not reflect, but I guess maybe they do that every time now. But the rise of BRICS, the economic giant that is taking on the West. Who's your Vladdy? What's up, dude?
Okay. Glad that caught your... Someone's been reading the fan fiction a little too hard.
Oh, come on. Our friend Tara Reid does have a t-shirt that says, "Who's your Vladdy?" And I saw that picture and I just thought, that's too good, man. That's too good.
I mean, he seems happy.
He's pretty happy.
I got whatever's in this cup. I want to know what's in that cup.
No, we know what's in that cup.
You know?
We know it's in that cup. So the G7 summit in Elmau, Germany, June 26th through 28th, and the NATO summit in Madrid 2 days later were practically useless in terms of providing actual solutions to the ongoing global crises. The war in Ukraine, the looming famines, climate change, and more. But the two events were important nonetheless, as they provide a stark example of the impotence of the West amid rapidly changing global dynamics. Yeesh. Okay. As was the case since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, the West attempted to display unity, though it has become repeatedly obvious that no such unity exists. While France, Germany, and Italy are paying a heavy price for the energy crisis resulting from the war, Britain's Boris Johnson is adding fuel to the fire in the hope of making his country relevant on the global stage following the humiliation of Brexit. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is exploiting the war to restore Washington's credibility and leadership over NATO, especially following the disastrous term of Donald Trump, which nearly broke up the historic alliance. Probably should have anyway. Even the fact that several African countries are becoming vulnerable to famines, a result of the disruption of food supplies originating from the Black Sea and the subsequent rising prices, did not seem to perturb the leaders of some of the richest countries in the world. They still insist on not interfering in the global food market, though the skyrocketing prices have already pushed tens of millions of people below the poverty line.
Okay.
Though the West had little reserve of credibility to begin with, Western leaders' current obsession with maintaining thousands of sanctions on Russia, further NATO expansion, dumping yet more lethal weapons in Ukraine, and sustaining their global hegemony at any cost have pushed their credibility standing to a new low. Hard to argue with. From the start of the Ukraine war, the West championed the same moral dilemma as that raised by George W. Bush at his start of so-called war on terror. You're either with us or you're with us. Or you're either with us or with the terrorists. He declared in October 2001. Of course, we know that.
Mass destruction.
But the ongoing Russia-NATO conflict cannot be reduced to simple and self-serving cliches. One can indeed want an end to the war and still oppose U.S. Western unilateralism. We do. The reason that American dictates worked in the past, however, is that unlike the geopolitical atmosphere, a few declared Washington's policies. Don't ask. Yes, thank you. Times have changed. Russia, India, along with many others in Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and South America, are navigating all available spaces to counter the suffocating Western dominance. These countries have made it clear that they will not take part in isolating Russia in the service of NATO's expansionist agenda. To the contrary, they've taken many steps to develop alternatives to the West-dominated global economy, and particularly to the U.S. dollar, which for 5 decades has served the role of a commodity, not a currency per se. The latter has been Washington's most effective weapon, associated with many U.S.-orchestrated crises, sanctions, and in the case of Iraq and Venezuela, among others, mass hunger. So, China and others understand that the current conflict is not about Ukraine versus Russia, but about something far more consequential. If Washington and Europe emerge victorious, and if Moscow is pushed back beyond the proverbial Iron Curtain, Beijing would have no other options but to make painful concessions to the re-emerging West. This in turn would place a cap on China's global economic growth and would weaken its case regarding the One China policy. China is not wrong. Almost immediately following NATO's limitless military support of Ukraine and the subsequent economic war on Russia, Washington and its allies began threatening China over Taiwan. We've seen this happen. Many provocative statements, along with military maneuvers and high-level visits by U.S. politicians to Taipei, were meant to underscore U.S. dominance in the Pacific. 2 main reasons drove the West to further invest in the current confrontational approach against China, at a time where arguably it would have been more beneficial to exercise a degree of diplomacy and compromise. Yes, it would have. First, the West feared that Beijing could misinterpret its action as weakness and a form of appeasement. And second, because the West's historic relationship with China has always been predicated on intimidation, if not outright humiliation. From the Portuguese occupation of Macau in the 16th century, to the British Opium Wars of the mid-19th century, to Trump's trade war on China, the West has always viewed China as a subject, not a partner. This is precisely why Beijing did not join the chorus of Western condemnation of Russia. Though the actual war in Ukraine is of no direct benefit to China, the geopolitical outcomes of the war could be critical to the future of China as a global power. While NATO remains insistent on expansion so as to illustrate its durability and unity, it is the alternative world order led by Russia and China that is worthy of serious attention. According to the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, okay, that's the Frankfurt daily newspaper, Beijing and Moscow are working to further develop the BRICS club of major emerging economies to serve as a counterweight to the G7. The German newspaper is correct. BRICS' latest summit on June 23rd was designed as a message to the G7 that the West is no longer in the driving seat and that Russia, China, and the global South are preparing for a long fight against Western dominance. Here we go. In his speech at the BRICS summit, Vladimir Putin proposed the creation of an international reserve currency based on the basket of currencies of our countries. The fact that the ruble alone has managed to survive, in fact flourish, under recent Western sanctions, gives hope that the BRICS currencies combined can manage to eventually sideline the U.S. dollar as the world dominant currency. I believe that Russia and China today announced that they are actually now trading in either yuan or rubles. Reportedly, it was Xi Jinping who requested that the date of the BRICS summit be changed from July 4th to June 23rd, so that it would not appear to be a response to the G7 summit. This further underscores how the BRICS are beginning to see themselves as a direct competitor to the G7. The fact that Argentina and Iran are applying for BRICS membership also illustrates that the economic alliance is morphing into a political, in fact, geopolitical entity. The global fight ahead is perhaps the most consequential since World War II. While NATO will continue to fight for relevance, Russia, China, and others will invest in various economic, political, and even military infrastructures in the hopes of creating a permanent and sustainable counterbalance to Western dominance. The outcome of this conflict is likely to shape the future of humanity. Damn. So, Dr. Ramsey Brood, who is he? He's a journalist and the editor of the Palestine Chronicle. He's the author of 6 books. His latest book, co-edited with Ilan Pappé, is Our Vision for Liberation, Engage Palestinian Leaders and Intellectuals Speak Out. Again, he's writing for Min-Press News. He's an independent writer. I've definitely featured his stuff before. Really well-educated, really good stuff. Brings it. And we've been talking about BRICS for a little while. We've been talking, they're all childs of WEF, children of WEF here, from Xi to Putin to all of them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that them aligning to create, now look, if you look at the number of people that are in this BRICS alliance, it represents like a quarter of the world's population, at least. Way more than in NATO. All right, but what I was responding to was Big Bad Crab saying Putin is a child of the World Economic Forum. He's not all good in terms of economics. He's not. Again, I am not.
It's just they're playing the game.
Oligarchical world leaders, but
yeah, they're just playing it better right now.
BRICS should change their name to Based. I love it. That's hilarious. Nice. Where are we at? 45 minutes? I got through 4 stories in 45 minutes. Man, I should have done a 5th story.
Yep.
Damn it.
Could have.
Oh, well.
Well. I like it better than anything else.
Yeah, I know, Nancy.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Well, we could always do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
We could always do some of that.
We always can bust that out.
And she's very demanding on this show.
She's a pain in my ass as usual.
She needs to go eat some fucking ice cream. Get the fuck out of here.
So, yeah, that's all I got. Like, I only prepared a few stories. That's all I got.
You could have been a contender.
That's what I got.
You could have been a contender.
I said, remember that. Yeah, everyone check out Jesse's show on Wednesday night Tuesday night for sure. INN News Wednesday night with, I guess Colin's going to be on. I don't know if we're going to have a special guest. I'm working on booking a special guest, possibly. We'll see if we can have a pretty kick-ass interview. I don't know. We'll see. You ready for this?
We'll see.
And I watch mindless shit. Boats that smash into other boats.
It still blasts out. Sorry, guys. Hey, we got Reefer Man. That's always loud for everybody.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So it's just Jimmy screaming, boats! Anyway. Meanwhile, 2 minutes after work, I love the little SpongeBob stoned man. It's pretty good. You know?
What do you mean after work? Okay, yes. Yes, boss. Yes, right. After work. After work. Uh-huh.
After work.
After work. Right.
This is my favorite kids book. You read this? This fucking dork can't smoke weed like a normal person.
Well,
that'd be me. That's my favorite book. I have that same setup at my house.
Doorboats blew his ears off. Nice. Jimmy is very loud. Thanks, Eric. Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing?
So is this. This is also very loud.
Oh my word! What?
Like,
dude, what is that fucking thumber? That's not a thumber. That's a forearmer, right there.
Yeah, huh? Is that how you measure it?
Everybody, check out Eric T. Red's YouTube channel. He's been doing some kick-ass streams also with his buddy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
The buffet will look at my wedding, just like this.
Oh, I love you, man. I love you, man. You just get me.
Which one you want? You want the sativa over here? You want that fucking Dutch pineapple right here? It's delicious. You want the what?
Dude, Mac.
They have it in baking trays.
Something about Mac. Something alien cookies. Mad alien cookies.
Exactly. Yep.
I might be being delivered somewhere tomorrow. I don't know where.
Ever wonder what it's like to have a little boy as a kid? This is how it be. Like why he be doing that?
Well, I know why. The question is how long until that thing falls off and he ends up on his head. But again,
he'll land in the cushion. He'll be fine.
Please, DMCA. Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, we got a strike last week for child endangerment, quote unquote, because
violence or whatever the fuck.
Because of one of the videos here from Dad Zone, we're guessing, but we don't know what.
Yeah.
And they took last week's stream down from INN.
Assholes.
Yep. Thanks, YouTube. It's up everywhere. Whoa. Uh-oh.
Yo.
Oh, dude, I'd be so pissed.
Yep.
I'd be so pissed. Dude, how fast is that thing going to put that car through the ceiling?
I don't know. Fast, like, but what would happen if you came home to this?
Like, everyone would point at each other and say, "He did it." Uh-oh. Oh.
Who did it?
Oh. No. Passed out in a sugar coma. Just ran right till he couldn't take another bite. Poor little bugger.
I love all of the, everything is just everywhere.
You know what I love about it most? That it's not my house.
Right? That's what's the best bit.
That is the best part. It's not my house.
And how Speed Racer movie fast? Yeah. So this little kid, right? Liberty County boy vying for Kid's Crown in 2022 USA Mullet Championships.
That is a pretty freaking glorious, splendid mullet, I must say.
That is a fabulous mullet, sir.
That might be one that he grew from birth.
That's a Florida boy right there. That's that mullet, son. Like, so since Crab is in the chat, do crabs think people walk sideways? Tom, aged 7. Fuck you, Tom. Like, with your existential questions. This is gonna be one of those things where it's like, you know, if it falls in the forest and no one can hear it, it's do crabs think people walk sideways? Speaking of crabs walking sideways, this is Crab's dentistry.
Oh boy. Like literally using a crab to yank a tooth. That's nasty.
Like,
that is nasty.
Is it? I mean, crab dentist, bro. He got his degree. He's good.
Base dentistry. The answer is yes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's so heavy.
I have no sound, by the way.
You have no sound?
I have no sound.
God. Here.
Oh? No! Oh, come back and try again. You're almost to the sink.
I can't do
Oh. That looks like it's very heavy. I think you can do it though, Kirsten. I think you can lift it up to the sink and you can help clear the table. I think you can do it. You're a big hammy.
She's an actor. She's a good actress right there.
Oh. You want to try again? Maybe you take your thumb out of your mouth and move your lovey and you can do it all. Okay, let's go. Put it in the sink.
Maxime, pretty old.
Better acting than AOC.
You did it.
Future Democrat. Nice, Craig.
We're so heavy.
Now run. Run away from the pain. Like, oh, it was gonna be a run. I thought it was gonna be a run. This one's pretty good.
Oh, come on, dude. You're gonna
What? Nothing happened. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean.
Come on. After the last 2 days that I just had, I gotta see that again. I don't go back. Go back. I don't care. I don't care if they pulled out my fucking stream. Go back. I don't care if you pull it down YouTube. Fuck off. This is staying on Rockman and Rumble and you. Oh, that kid went flying good. Oh, I needed that.
Oh, God.
Oh, I needed that.
DDT for the top rope.
Okay, Crab, he listens to me yell at my kids all day long. I get it. Okay? He's doing me a favor. Trust me, please.
Yep.
He's keeping it insane.
What? AOL?
Oh.
So, it stood for America Online. So basically, we had to pay for internet by the hour, and so this company called America Online would send you a CD-ROM in the mail. You'd put that in your computer, and that's how you would get internet for free, so that you could use it.
Like Wi-Fi? You put
No. So Y, the Y in Wi-Fi is wireless, right? So there was no such thing as Wi-Fi. There was no wireless internet. Everything had to be plugged in to the actual computer. But you couldn't get on the internet unless you had like an account or prepaid time, and the CD-ROM did that.
Yeah. For you kids at home who don't know. And you used to have to hear what sound, Indy? Can you imitate the sound?
Oh, no, I'm not even going to bother because it definitely haunts my dreams, yes.
Yep, that's just when I'm not thinking about anything else. It's just that noise. You know? Oh, kid, you want some? Kid, wake up and get some. Oh, num 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 num.
That must be really tasty. Oh, kitty litter.
Oh, he's knocked out.
Oh,
like,
is that like the kratom?
No, I think it's just tuna, probably. like,
that's right. We had 96 we had 9600 baud modem. Then we liked it. I actually had a 24. I had a 1200 and a 2400, Eric. But yes, 9600 baud.
Right.
That was the shit then.
It was. I had to load this so I could do this. There it is.
Kitty. Warren.
This feels like Dad wasn't watching. You know, look at all the stickums. Oh God, he's covered in stickums. It's like pretty unicorns and rainbows and ice creams.
I love how guilty. I love how guilty the dog looks. Like he did it.
He's just like, it's just like, help me. That's what I see. Help. This puppers helps. Oh, stick. I get the stick.
He's the bad boy. Sure.
Yeah, I get the stick. I'm a good boy. I get stick.
Great. That is. See, now that's thinking until the dog has to shit on the baseball field.
I mean, whatever. It's grass. It's fine. You know.
Just don't slide in the hole.
Puts it in a bag. Yeah.
Just don't shit on the plate.
There was an attempt to make love to a roll of toilet paper, is what the thing said. Fuck you. like he does the kung fu move on it. Wow.
I don't think that's necessarily what they wanted.
No. Look at this dude's little walk.
Oh, bud.
Kitty.
Okay.
Oh my God, coming. I'll do it. Yeah. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, I come inside, I get a treat. Yeah, treat. He just like bip bops over there. Give me that treat. No one want the bag.
Bip bop, bit up.
I just wanna see his little walk again.
Whoa. I'm strut.
He's like drunk.
He's got the strut.
Like he's about to fall overs.
He's got the strut.
So she bought him today.
Oh, he's a little excited. Oh my God.
Oh God.
I hope you don't break him.
Wow. Anyway,
shit, that's a bad.
Going. He's zooming. What? Zordon, I don't need to right now.
That's the Power Rangers, everybody.
Yep. I just want to see it one more time. Oh, like, anyway. Dumb little animals. Look at the watermelon.
Oh my God, the watermelon helmet. Oh my God. Oh, that's just cruelty. That's so mean.
What do I do now?
He does not look happy.
I don't know what to do.
How do I open my mouth?
Like, this one's funny.
I forgot to plug in the crock pot, and my son very specifically suggested that we neglect to tell her. So when she finds out, we can just say, oh, let's order pizza instead. I am a little torn.
Would never do that. Happy wife, happy life. Psych, wanna know what she's gonna do?
So,
Nice.
have you seen this terrifying thing?
Oh
So
my
this is
God,
the new
no.
deepfake method, right? That some researchers came. Look how fucking ridiculous this is. Like, so this is the person doing it, and they're using the
Right?
deepfakes.
And they're using.
here.
Oh my God.
Like, how crazy is that?
That is ridiculous.
That's
They say you can
ridiculous.
make anybody say anything.
Probably, especially if you got like a voice, you know.
Especially if their
I
name
was
was
like, I want that.
especially if their name was Frank somewhere.
This is the only lead I have on it, sir. Here you go.
Yeah, Oz wants that. Yeah, I knew Oz would want that. Oh dang. Yipper,
If
what's
you
up,
can't
man?
see the bottom, don't go in the water.
Punya kan itu tuh gelembung-gelembung bergerak gitu guys ya.
Oh no.
Seperti itu ya. Saya akan coba ya. Predator apa yang ada di dalamnya itu ya.
I don't.
Coba lempar batu guys ya.
Okay,
itulah
that's
dia
a
guys.
big fucking croc.
Oke guys, semoga bermanfaat.
What? Okay, guys, smoking a bomb pop.
Okay, I'm not going in there. That's what that said. I'm not going in there. Thank you.
Damn, nature, you scurry.
Thank you very much, as Andy Kaufman used to say. Thank you very much.
Have you watched the one with Jim Carrey or whatever?
Of course.
Where he's doing
So
Andy.
good.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Man on the moon.
You get that moped. You go get it. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Oh, that's great.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Fucking
Oh,
cop.
dude. Yeah, but you know he's
Bye-bye.
gonna get busted like a block or two later. He's at a Jersey Shore tat, it looks like, and
is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, he'll get away.
I don't know.
Somebody will
about
hide
that.
him out.
That's gonna be tight.
Cop didn't even get the license plate, probably. Do you know how to catch fish?
Do I know how to catch
have
fish?
You caught the fish?
Not since I was a boy. That's like the third person in a week that's asked me about fishing.
I owed him up.
Well,
like
that's not a fish.
I owed him up.
That's not a fish.
Like, if you say so.
Okay, it's a fish.
Yeah, I would go with it's a fish.
That's a fish. Yeah, see, wiener cut off. That's exactly it.
Wiener cut off road.
That's right.
Fucking who named that street?
Somebody who didn't like Hillary Clinton and Anthony Weiner.
Oh, Cross Street, Bobbitt's Way.
Nice. Nice
so,
for John Bobbitt, 90s dude who has Johnson cut off by his wife.
And he went back.
Yeah.
He went back. That's how crazy that is.
Yep. What's up, Miguel? Ow. Tell me that thing's gonna hit. Oh. Wait till the end.
Like, he like hits his shin, right? With the first one.
Oh, and that hurts.
He's like, oh,
so
fuck, that sucks.
Like, all right, I'll practice bunting. Oh, doink. I love the sound.
That's
Dink.
crazy.
Wiener curve drive. There you go. Yipper for the win. Oh no, this is not going to be good for the car. Axle's going to come right off. Oh. Okay. Okay, that didn't help.
No.
That
No.
definitely did not help. See, that's not cool.
Jamaica is not a real place. This is what that one's called. So the audacity of this universe. So you're sitting here in your lazy boy.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I got some problems already. What's with the cup on the floor? Like, dude.
All
right.
Where's what cup? I don't even see the
bottom left
cup.
corner. Bottom left corner. First thing I
Is
saw.
that a cup?
That's definitely a cup.
Okay. Anyway, I don't think that's the thing he needs to worry about.
Ouch.
Like, just on him.
Worst details from her youngest children, who are just 6 and 7. But Alexander, who celebrated his 16th birthday last week in Rome,
What the fuck just happened?
That's a real comfy couch, it looks like. I must say.
Yeah, but like...
He still hasn't moved.
Why?
Bro, the whole thing fell on him. He never moved.
He was just like, why?
Did you not notice that he never even moved, like, to clear it off his own face even?
No, he did. He moved the stuff off the face.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Did. Like, he was like, when it first landed, he's like this, dude. Like, he's like picking it off his face.
All right, well, maybe if he took care of his house a little more, that wouldn't have happened. Like picking your cups off the ground, dude.
Sure, that was the problem.
That's what did it.
That affected the roof.
By the way, that love seat, that black love seat back there,
yeah,
that's like a $2,000 love seat at least. That is a very expensive love seat.
Or a cheap knockoff.
Probably not.
This one I just thought was funny.
Oops.
Oh, why they bleep it out?
Did she just like rip her shirt open?
No.
Well, I know. Ow.
It just hurt her fucking.
Yeah, it sure
titty.
did. Yeah, it sure did, and it also messed up her shot. But that's another story.
Yes. The Archer's paradox. But this is just fucking crazy. Did you see the one where the of like the UPS guy that like fucking passed out from heat stroke the other day?
Oh my god.
Like one of the like it was ridiculous. Like on like he was like walked up like someone's Ring camera caught it. And he like fell over. It was fucking awful. Anyway, this one's much funnier than that. Hell no.
Oh.
Ah. And he's okay. He's all right. He's good.
Yeah. He's moving a little slower.
Like the fucking bird.
The bird emerged from the tree and scared the crap out of him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh god, a bird!"
Oh, dude, he's in serious. Yeah, that dude's seriously gonna have some issues. Maybe a concussion.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Maybe.
That's that. Ow.
Shouldn't have ran for that bird, man. It was just a bird.
Eric blamed the cup too.
One guy sits down, then the other guy.
Somebody didn't learn about weights and balances in school.
Nope. We didn't think that would happen. Now what do they do? Like,
help!
You know, like, help. You're like in the road and shit. You know.
Help.
Oh fuck. I feel for this dude right here. Oh, God.
Yo. Oh,
That
he
was
saw
so close.
Well, he saw it coming and dumped it.
Why is he holding his fucking?
Because he scraped it on the ground probably, but he sacrificed his bike, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah, I would too. Fuck that bike. Oh, this one's just a you played yourself.
Revenge of the tree trunk. That is about geometry, Shaq. Definitely.
Geometry.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Well, you did play yourself. That is true, but
yeah.
I mean, it's all about geometry. It's all about geometry.
It is. This is definitely some geometry.
It is.
Here we go. He's fucking poised. Ready, steady.
Don't give it away.
Ready, steady. Eyes on the prize. Here we go. Pounce, pounce, pounce. Yes! Boom! Had him! Fucking jackpot! Fucking jackpot! Get him! Yeah! Fucking gutted!
Fucking gutted!
Oh, the girlfriend's just cracking up at him too.
Fucking spewing.
Everybody's laughing at him. Look at that. You see everybody walking by laughing?
They all do. They all knew. That's because another motherfucker had that happen to them just like 5 minutes ago.
Oh my
you
god,
know?
that's great.
Like, you know, this one I saved for later, and not in Dad Zone.
Oh. Wow, that was fast. You might want to get that kid to a hospital and get his ribs looked at.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ. That
Dude,
goes on for like another fucking 10 seconds.
That kid
like,
was flying.
It's like him like walking down the street with his bike now.
Oh,
no, not riding off.
He ain't riding anymore. He's like, I'm not getting this fucking thing again. He might have destroyed it.
Like, look how fast he's going, dude. He travels in like 3 seconds from like here.
I think it must be an electric.
Like here.
It must be an electric dealie. And he just.
I don't.
Yeah, dude, that's not natural.
Oh, God.
That's electric. That's an electric bike.
Or you're just coming down the hill or something, you know?
That's an electric.
Like, yeah, that's.
Ow.
Like, that cry is just the worst part of it. You know?
Uh-oh. Are you starting an avalanche? Uh-oh.
Wee.
Uh-oh.
That hit that one.
That's vertical. He's trying to do this.
I think he was not trying. I think he hit the rocks on the way down and didn't want to do that.
I
know?
think he was trying to slide, but not necessarily know what he would hit. But it seemed like he was trying to do that. That's.
I think he messed up.
Just glissade. Is that?
Glissade down the mountain. Yeah, I think he's got a parachute on.
Damn.
So, explain to me what happens in this video, please.
I could really go for some pancakes right now. Come on, mate. Think you can make me some pancakes?
What? fuck? Why? Pretty good not to get the shells in there, I have to say.
We need oil.
Holy shit. What up? Get the fuck out. That's some pretty good pancakes. What the hell?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why? Why?
Kill it.
Kill it dead.
I love how you got the fucking whisk.
RLA saying OMG. Kill that thing. Yeah.
Cirque de pancake. Yep.
Eric asking if it's the same tree tracks every time.
The same what? The same what every time?
The train the train that hit the bike. Every time you have a train with a bike, is the same train tracks every time.
I think so.
Is that a Slender sous chef? Yes, it is. It's a Scream.
Yes.
He's a Scream.
Slender sous chef. Hardcore parkour.
Okay. I don't.
Oh, over the thing and the thing and the oh,
that's gonna hurt.
Like I feel like that it paused right here. Like, oh, like watch, it's gonna pause in the same spot again.
No.
Oh, now it just loops on endlessly forever. Nope. Pause at the same spot.
Right in the same spot. That's a great spot to pause it though. Because that's
Yep.
like, you know, he's about to freaking end up with a big headache. Wow.
So, did you see this? I saw this on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this. So this is the wind turbine in Texas that got hit by lightning.
I heard about people saying, well, this is why you shouldn't rely on wind power. Really? That's pretty cool. Smoke rings.
Yep.
But bye, wind turbine.
Yep. Goodbye. This is like us waving goodbye. It seems like this should be in the background of a metal video. You know, like up close. You know what I mean?
And then, of course, the motor's going to explode.
Yeah. Right? And just flaming propeller.
Yes.
Like.
Sure.
Seems like that's one of those biblically accurate angels right there.
E-Heller's saying it's still working even on fire.
Yep. It's still working. You know what this is.
Miguel says goodbye.
You know what this is. Which is funny because it's got wind turbines on it.
Uh-oh.
You know? I just find that hilarious.
Is this going to take the dock or capsize or both?
So this is going to be interesting for people to see.
Oh boy, it's going to take the dock. Wait, what? What went flying?
Dude. The bollard right here. Yeah, that. So this is, do you know what these cables are rated for?
A lot?
Like, yeah. Would you like to see it? Would you like to see it? Just took a steel thing and just
sawed it in half,
slingshotted it like right over here. Like,
yep.
Like, oh my god, here it is closer. So like, you see how thick that rope is?
Mm-hmm.
And it's elastic rope too. That would have been my first sign.
Did it pull the next one off too? There you go.
Like it almost hits this boat. Like it almost hits that boat.
Yeah, it does.
Like that boat would have been messed up. So you know how we end here usually.
With a bang. Boat smashing on the boats. She fire burning on the dance floor. Oh shit. No way. She fire burning on the dance floor.
Vai.
Dude, you're a lunatic. What the fuck is wrong with you?
They were trying to steal his shit.
Jesus. Did he get the guy off the bike? He got him off. Get the fuck out. He's got him. He's got him.
He's in them.
Yeah, he is. Get him. Get him.
Like he lined him up, dog.
Nice. Oh shit.
It was like a Death Star run real quick. You know?
Wow.
So, that's funny. That's Brazil, I think.
Damn. Go get your stuff, brah. Uh-oh. Get out. What? No. Oh, no! No. It literally lifted him off the ground.
This is why men live much shorter lives. Like, what the fuck, man? I love it. Well,
okay.
I had more boats, but they're lost into the ether, I think. So
Ukraine Armored Division, Marville Jones. Nice. All right. Well, this is a short one this week. This is like old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week we got a busy week on INN. We got Torah tomorrow night with Alina Lip.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon? At 2 p.m. Eastern.
Tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern. So then Tuesday night, we've got Jesse Show, 10 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday night, INN News, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thursday night, I don't know what we're doing yet. Like Thursday, Friday. Oh, wait. Thursday night is March of Medicare for All. Wait, July 30th. No, that's not Thursday. No, July 30th is, no, that's Saturday. July 30th, there's March Medicare for All. I definitely want to shout that out. There's going to be actions happening all week in D.C. If you're in and around the D.C. area, go to m4all.org and look up all the schedule calendar. They still need some donations. They need some help. They need some supplies. I know that they've got a tremendous lineup of speakers. I know that there are a lot of doctors and nurses and people talking about the need for it in the industry, and it's not just about podcasters and personalities, but it's actual professionals in the field that need this and are talking about why and the benefits to patients and everybody around, to the mental health of the professionals. Okay, I know that there will be Dr. Anna Malinow. I know that Reverend Annie Chambers is scheduled to be there. Savage Joy has done a tremendous amount of work, along with Ricky Rance and some other folks at March for Medicare for All, to organize this week of action, and give them a lot of credit. And please support that organization if you can. We all, of course, need and are fighting for Medicare for all, healthcare for all, and nationally. We have to do this universally, nationally, and healthcare for all means no premiums, no deductibles. You get free or minimal cost at point of service, covers healthcare, dental, mental, hearing, vision. Everything is covered the way that it is in other countries around the world. By the way, every other major developed country has already managed to figure out how to do this for their citizenry and for everybody else that's in there, even their quote-unquote illegals. And nobody is illegal. They are just not legal residents at the moment, but they're still legal people. They're legal humans.
Right.
So, again, give a shout out to our friend Uncle Warren. Link tr.ee/extra booyah. Warren's taking a little bit of a break, but if you can throw him a couple of bucks, help pay some bills, help him with his rent, we always appreciate it. I'm sure always appreciated, as Pasta's our friend Pasta on the Convo Couch likes to say, and AM Wake Up now. Although I haven't heard him really say that on AM Wake Up.
Right.
I did a
He might have
panel.
retired it.
Maybe. I don't know if it's up yet on tntradio.live. I did a panel last week with Steve from Slow News Day and Pasta and Misty talking about censorship in independent media and platforms, and it was a fascinating hour. I had so much fun talking about it. I appreciate being asked and invited, and what a great group of guys, and of course Misty, great group of people to talk about that with. And yeah, definitely give that a listen. It's only an hour. I think it's about 50 minutes cut up. I still haven't heard it yet, and looking forward to listening to it myself. So how do we support Warren? Link tr.ee/extra bulla. Here, let me put it in the chat. linktr.ee/extra, because I can't type bulla, and I probably have that as a Stream Deck button, and I just didn't do it. Didn't push it, but hook Uncle Warren up, please, if you could, with a couple of bucks. Of course, Reef could always use some weed money. Everybody's struggling out there. We totally understand. If you can't. Again, we opened this tonight's show with The Grift from Jesse Jet, 3 songs, so you can go to jessejet.bandcamp.com and download The Grift for free. All of his work is available to download for free on a give what you can basis, completely merit-based. Throw him a couple bucks if you're going to download his stuff. Love him to death. Can't wait to do a show on Tuesday night. Come listen. That's all I got. I'm going to say goodnight for tonight and tell everyone to remember to question everyone's motivations.
Keep listening to what little